and Uncle William. We extend our heartfelt thanks to you for spending this time with our family to honor and celebrate Auntie Mona Lisa Huerta Ipitin as we continue to pray for her eternal rest. I'm Catherine Morano, also known as Karen, one of Auntie Mona's nieces. I want to take this time to honor Auntie Mona Lisa's and take you on a journey on the evolution of her life. It's pretty remarkable. Auntie Mona was born to Uncle Honorato and Auntie Ciaga Longus. She is survived by her husband, Uncle Charles Chuck Huerta, her sister Mila Pat, and brother William Kipitin. Auntie is predeceased by her parents and brother Alex Kipitin. Her early years. She grew up in Kaliki and graduated from Barrington High School. In the area of basically Frog Lane, which I understand is the area of School Street, Foodland McDonald's area. She was basically, the family grew up in Kaka'ako and Kaliki, and it was just, one of those love fest things that the sign grew. Many family members are here, and my gosh, it was always so great to get together as a family. Early on, she was really inspired to become a nurse. As a young girl and as a teenager, she loved fixing people. She just loved it. She was also, for some of you cousins, that she was kind of a tomboy. And because her mom used to make the bibingka and all that kind of Filipino delicacies, oftentimes when the father was working away, Auntie Pat and Alex and Auntie Mona would have to lift these huge, I hear it weighs tons of, I guess, mochi and rice and whatever to make the wood and stuff. So she was strong. Auntie was also very strong. She loved fixing people and was always, sometimes you think it was a line of her because she talk, and she just was Miss Aloha. She was not afraid of blood, gore, people breaking bones, needles. She didn't flinch at all by any of that. In fact, she found these situations quite fascinating. She loved cleaning wounds, icky, yucky wounds, even when she wasn't a nurse yet. And boy, was she a stickler for wound care, such that I met Gordon, he had an issue on his leg, and I guess they spread the bacteria or whatever with putting peroxide on the spray. And she's like, Catherine, don't you know wound care? I said, no, not really, but So what does she do? She sends me gauze, all kinds of ointments to the mail, although we live on Oahu, but she really wanted to make her point that I needed to focus on wound care. She wanted to be a nurse so bad that she begged their family doctor, Dr. Mirapitani, if she could volunteer at his medical office while she was in high school. And because she was, I guess, she seemed smart, she seemed responsible, he took her on and let her Auntie Mona volunteer at his office in Honolulu. And boy, was she in heaven. She was like a child in a candy store. He was pretty impressed with her, so he let Auntie just shadow her all over the place with procedures and watching whatever was going on, drawing blood, this, that, and the other. And she got really good at her focus about assessing, some illnesses and perhaps what's needed. And she also spoke the sign. For many of you know that she's pretty fluent in that. In fact, I learned a lot on how to speak the signs from her and my grandmother. And boy, when Auntie starts speaking the signs, she just flies, right? So I'm like, Auntie, absolutely, I'm trying to catch up with you. But with that, she could connect with the patients that came in that might have been English as a second language and needed to have some interpretation, which was great. Auntie then, basically, she's learning everything. He's basically sort of letting her give shots in that medical office. And Dr. Connie said that, Mona Lisa, you should really go to nursing school. And she says, oh no, Doc, told me, like, yeah, sometimes I didn't realize that because you're so adult, you're so responsible, you're so trustworthy. With that, Auntie ended up going to school at KCC and graduated as an LPN. And within seconds, she applied for work at Leahi Hospital, became a nurse there, and enjoyed it. And basically, as the years as she got older, she went ahead smart. She wanted to do the heavy lifting, so she became manager with Central Supply at Leahi. She, basically was a loyal employee there for 42 years, which was pretty amazing. Auntie grew up in a home of Catholic parents, and in fact, you know what, we all lived, my grandparents, her grandmother, well, my grandmother, Fabiana, is actually Auntie Mona's godmother. Auntie Mona was baptized here 79 years ago with my family, and as my grandmother, Fabiana, as her godmother. We remained very, very close over the years, although when Kaka'ako and split up and, things were changing in the city. They went to Hawaii Kai, and my grandparents and family went to Hawaii because my grandmother wanted more land to have her fighting chickens, have her kaungai, and, grow things and food. And so basically, we're on the other side of the island, they're on this island, but we remained very close and saw each other quite often. I really don't know how we did that, but we did. I do remember that, when Uncle Marmont used to work, Auntie took over as the prayer leader, for the novenas and the panache. That was very, very important. And she basically did the whole novena and all the rosaries with Bisaya. And I don't know if you guys remember when everybody used to kneel down and there were all pillows all over the place, and the young and old kneel the whole time of that novena. And that's kind of long, and very, very devout. I remember feast days at their home, where honoring Jesus, St. Vicente, which was St. Vincent and St. Michael. The great part was when they said, which meant, good evening, and it's time to eat. Wonderful, wonderful Filipino food, the bibingka, the food, everything. It was like, oh my gosh, yes. Auntie Mona being Auntie Mona, although she was busy, being a nurse, and pretty busy, she also was moonlighting on the side as a vocalist. She loved to sing and entertain. She had a great love for music, and just, she was not shy at all. She'd be getting up there and doing her thing, and such that she was an avid, diverse vocalist. She was accomplished in singing songs of a wide range in English, Filipino, Hawaiian, and Japanese language. In fact, when I was in grad school in New York, she was like sending me her cassettes. I think Easter has some cassettes too, yeah. And Chotomaki Kudasai, she's singing Japanese and all this other thing. So you're like, gotta study, I can't listen to it. She goes, no, when you get bored, you can listen to my cassettes or whatever. And she was notorious for sending spiritual books to us to, always read and know God, know Jesus, know Mother Mary. And yes, ma'am, of course, Auntie, but learned so much from her. And her rosaries. She would always get some rosaries, a gift from her that was spiritual and religious. So she was a vocalist for over 30 years with Perla de Ore Dance Company. And I believe they performed at the Worldwide Hotel. I think it was actually the Monarch Room. And I'm like, wow, Auntie, you did that? How the heck did you do it? She said, you just do it. And it was good fun. She was also a member of the Philippine Cultural Group of Hawaii. And I don't know if you all remember, but remember the Filipino Fiesta show with Cristicio? She was on that too. And I used to remember saying, and thought he's like, all of this. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's Auntie. And with all her pretty Filipino clothes like that, so glamorous, yeah. But also a tomboy, and just became a lot of self-service. So Auntie was just like an all-around person. Her feminine and masculine energy was definitely alive with Auntie, not to mention her good heart. Most cherished was Auntie's great love and devotion for the cathedral basilica of Our Lady of to get roast pork. It was like part of being right. That was the fun days when Fort Street Mall was kind of would be like our own mall shopping center, but on a small scale. Yeah, I see some people nodding here. And those were the good old days, when it was just really respectful, people were friendly and you didn't have to kind of like dodge things and things were a little better, in terms of people connecting. But with that, Auntie loved this church. She was baptized in this church as a baby, and so my grandmother, Father, was her godmother, and they remained very close until my grandmother's passing. In fact, back in the day, when you become a godmother, you're pretty much the second mother if something happens, right? That's the philosophy, but in the culture, it remained very, very true in terms of her godmother and her relationship with my grandmother. She served as a member of the choir here for forever and served as cantor. Dear to Auntie Monica's everlasting eternal heart and signature, bear me, Ave Maria, Hail Mary. Also very dear to Auntie's heart was Father Damien and Mother Marianne, later canonized as Saint Damien and Saint Marianne, in which there's a photo or a drawing of Saint Marianne on the reception desk here that Auntie Mona received an image, and she just drew that, and freehand, no tracing or anything like that, and it's displayed here on the pew from Sister Easter here and on our reception table. And then she also put together Father Damien, Peter St. Damien's photo back there, that his image is in the cloud, and you can see it quite vividly. So much was in her heart about God, Mother Mary, Jesus, and always, we can get busy with life, but always remember your prayers and to do the right thing and to help your family and to help each other. Very, very global family type of woman before her time. Later years, she enjoyed her wonderful life with Uncle Chuck and continued to hang out with Auntie Pat, her twin, and dynamic duo and her siblings, and she helped everybody she could. It was a little shocking in terms of her unforeseen passing. On my birthday, which was June 28th, I got a call from Auntie Pat, and I usually get a call from Auntie Mona. So I was like being funny, and so when the phone rang, I could see that it was her. I said, Auntie Mona, you're wishing me happy birthday, you're going to sing to me. And there was kind of silence, and it was actually Auntie Pat. And she said, Karen, they call me Karen also, that Auntie, when I was taken on the ambulance and was in the hospital and was going to be intubated for respiratory issues right now. I mean, things were happening so quickly. I was taken aback, but definitely went into damage control, not realizing that our dear father would be taken Auntie home in about 16 days from that day that I got the call. It was a process. She basically went in there. She didn't have COVID, but she did contract it in there, unfortunately. And things went downhill. Things got complicated. When I went up there to the hospital, she was Auntie, I let her stay home because I didn't want them to get ill or if it was really stressful. Because Auntie Mona always told me, Karen, you and I are going to take care of Uncle Chuck and Auntie Pat. And I was like, yes, ma'am, yeah, I know we are. So this was never, who knew, right? And that's the piece, because we never know when it's our time. And so she got extubated. We called the cathedral, sent her father to go bless her and give her the anointing in the sick. So I rushed to the hospital, and she was there in the ICU and just got extubated. Everything went as planned, thankfully, and I started saying the rosary with her, which is so important. And being Auntie Mona, she woke up and she said, Karen, what happened? And I'm like, well, she just got extubated now. And I said, Auntie, you got intubated, and we're at Eulogy Hospital, and you just got extubated. I'm trying to say the rosary with you. And so she started saying the rosary with me. which is the song that she loved and the hymn that she sang as a cantor, a soloist in this church for decades. Everything was happening really quick on a Saturday, 13th of July. I get a call at 4 o'clock. The doctors are in contact with the doctors on a daily basis and working everything. And she goes, at some point from ICU, then she goes to a regular room, which is great, going down with the level of care. And then one day, something probably happened. She contracted the virus somewhere down the line, such that 4 o'clock they called me that she was okay. At 8 o'clock they called me that we're in trouble, we better come quick because she might not make it through the night. And I had just come from Honolulu. We live in Hawaii, and always I think we flew to get Uncle Chuck and went to the hospital. When we got there, they coded her, and we got to see her through the glass mirror, and I started singing the rosary for her. Uncle Chuck on board and the other half was there, and I just kept saying the rosary, and her oxygen and her blood pressure went up for a moment, and I think she was waiting for us because you all know that anti-pack and Uncle Chuck don't drive now. So basically, she waited, gave us about 15 minutes, the oxygen went up, and then as we were, talking to the doctor, and it seemed that it was best to let her go, to let her be in peace. She started, the oxygen level started going down, from 100 to 80, 70, 60, and before you know it, Aunt Elizabeth doing her transition with our dear Father in heaven, and so blessed. And I tell you, when we went in, and just know that the last words that come out of Auntie's mouth was Ave Maria, Hail Mary, and she looked so peaceful and so beautiful. Like we all could see her. Perhaps that would be a consolation missing her, because her face, her skin, everything was so gorgeous. And when we finally left the hospital, and it was so surreal because this was like midnight, and then about 1 o'clock, so it was pretty early in the morning. All this wind was blowing as we were coming out of the emergency. She was upstairs, but we had to go through the underground area, basically all this wind and the leaves were just blowing, and it just seemed like it really seemed like a presence was there, and that she was really transitioning. And I was saying thank you, that tell the family we love. I love them all, and my sister and Uncle Chuck and all of them. So with that, I can't thank you enough for being here. On the back of the missalette is that you can take this home. There's a spiritual poem called Take Time. Take time, which is a personification of Auntie. Take time to think, it is a source of power. Take time to play, it is a secret of perpetual youth. Take time to read, it is a fountain of wisdom. Take time to pray, it is the greatest power on earth. Take time to love and be loved, it is a God-given privilege. Take time to be friendly, it is the road to happiness. Take time to laugh, it is music of the soul. Take time to give, it is too short a day to be selfish. Take time to work, it is the price of success. And take time to do charity, it's the key to heaven. That is so Auntie. She personified every word of this spiritual poem. And I just